history to be Emmy-nominated 3 consecutive years for performances on 3 different shows. The loyal and tough coach's wife, Tammy Taylor, on Friday Night Lights, the homeowner on American Horror Story, and in her current role as country queen Raina James on Nashville. She'll be on the big screen in Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, which took home the top 2 prizes at the Sundance Film Festival. Please welcome the fantastic Connie Britton.
He said something recently that really got to you. That was really he's at 4 years old is such a cute moment. It's such a cute stage. I recently, I can barely talk about it because I'll start crying, had to put my beloved dog of 14 years to sleep. And Lucy was her name. And and so it really had to it brought up all the questions of death and talking about that with your kid. And it was actually an interesting opportunity to do that with him. But he said he's been really fine about it, but brings it up every once in a while. And the other day he said to me, we were out blowing bubbles, and he looked at me and he said, "Mom, do you think that those bubbles are going all the way up to heaven and Lucy's seeing them?"
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I was like, that's kind of amazing. Yeah.
We mentioned that the film that you're in now, won the top 2 prizes at Sundance, but your very first film won the Sundance Jury Prize. That film was The Brothers McMullen. So tell us what you remember about the audition for that film.
Well, it was so, it was exactly 20 years ago. I'm old.
No.
And I didn't have an agent or anybody representing me, so I would there was a newspaper called Backstage, and you just send out pictures and resumes to any student director or anybody who might be casting something. And so I would do that every week to try to get acting jobs. So this one guy called me, and he had me come in to some weird business office in New York City, and I almost didn't even go to the audition because I'm like, I'm tired of all these auditions. And so, but I did go, and I walked in, and he had me read 2 different parts, and then I walked out the door and was going to go on with I think it was on a Sunday, because they usually are. And he came running after me, and he said, "We want you to play this part." And I was like, this movie's going to be really bad. If he wants to cast me right off the bat, it's going to be terrible. But I said yes, because what else did I have going on? And that director was Ed Burns, and the movie was The Brothers McMullen, and it won the Grand Jury Prize. You never know. You just never know.
Since then, you've gone on to play so many memorable characters. But there was one role that got away from you early in your career that you apparently really, really wanted.
It's true. Right after The Brothers McMullen won the Grand Jury Prize at Sundance, I got an agent for the first time, and I was out in Hollywood for the first time, and it was very exciting. I was getting all these opportunities, and I picked up the director of The Brothers McMullen, Ed Burns, at the airport. He had just flown out to LA, and he goes, "It's so crazy. All these people are sending me scripts. They want me to do their movies. And I just got this amazing script, and you'd be awesome in it." And he hands me the script, and I go home and I read it. And I went into my new agent's office the next day, and I said, "I have 2 words for you. Jerry Maguire." And so then we proceeded on this whole odyssey, and I read for Cameron Crowe, who was the director of that movie, and James Brooks, who was the producer, and then eventually they cast Tom Cruise, and they flew me to New York, and I wrote Tom. Anyway, it was this whole sort of 6-month period of time in which it was all coming together, and it was very exciting. And then it boiled down. We did a screen test. They were going through all these other people who were bigger names, or whatever. And I did a screen test, and it was me and one other person. and that other person was Renee Zellweger. And she got the part, and it was funny because it's funny now.